December 31st, 2023, New Year's Eve, getting ready to go to partake into some festivities. Marcus Giovanni here. Received the cease and desist notice from the city attorney's office, Mayor Michael B. Hancock. So I believe he was in on it, and I'm running for mayor of Denver, folks. This is September 14th. I made my announcement in January 2022. So with it, it comes to the attention of this office that you are using the name of the city and county of Denver and attempting to be associated with city and county of Denver without permission. You see this? Okay, as a document examiner, this is a double space. This should have been a the, but that's just my opinion. Without permission or authorization. As you may be aware, I filed complaints with unauthorized or fraudulent use with YouTube as a violation of their terms and use in March of 2019. YouTube agreed to shut off the channel named the City and County of Denver. It was never called the City and County of Denver. And this is where the corruption lies with these people. When they write something, it's what it is, whether it's the truth or not. And as far as YouTube goes, they never told me anything. That you were operating for that reason. See, YouTube agreed to shut off the channel named the City and County of Denver, that you were operating for that reason. Which is a lie. YouTube didn't shut us off for that reason. Okay? But the fact that they lied to YouTube, I'm surprised they still have all their channels, and that might change. Because what they did was they reached out and ruined somebody's with lies. This is what they do. Then it says, apparently a few days after being shut down on YouTube, you filed with the Colorado Secretary of State the name of the City and County of Denver LLC. You purchased two URL addresses. First, number one, it's called the City and County of Denver LLC. Again, another lie. This is what you have representing our city. And you should all be dangerous. But see, the same people keep voting for the same insane ways, and that's why we look outside and we see what we see. And you see a mayor that's trying to misguide everyone into his 1,000 homes so he can be governor. Ain't gonna happen. Anyways, you purchased two URL addresses, cityandcountyofdenver.com and cityandcountyofdenver.net, hashtag 420. First of all, one's a domain name and the other's a URL. Big difference. .com has nothing to do with the city. They're .gov. This is why we have commercial and everything. So I'm completely legal of doing what I was doing. Again, using the name of the city and county of Denver for yourself or your business. I do not know how much of the complaint YouTube's finding was relayed to you. Now, first of all, everybody knows that YouTube's not going to say anything. They just shut your channel down, folks. They just shut it down. You lose all your emails. You lose everything. It's just the way it works with them. And so when you think about the lies that they did to cause the channel to get shut down when I wasn't illegal, this is the way they send their letters to people to get them scared. And then it says, I do not know how much of the complaint YouTube's finding was relayed to you. They don't. She knows this. Anybody that knows YouTube and how to file a complaint knows they don't tell anybody. So this was her way of rubbing it in my face, like I was going to get scared. Like, ooh, oh, this lady, wow, which I'll show you her name at the end of this. But she's, in my opinion, despicable. If I was mayor, she would have been fired, and I would have brought criminal charges against her based off what we know. And there's other cloud content that they don't know that we know, that we can get a subpoena for and pull out all their files, all their emails, everything they deleted, all their node connections by the second. Anyways, but the city filed an objection to your account because because a fraudulent use rises to a crime in Colorado. More recently, in late 2021, you again activated YouTube. Like I'm creating crimes, folks. This is how they lay out their charges. See? And if I didn't know how to do what I was doing right now, if I didn't know how to do this, I'd be fucked. But instead, their YouTube channel, blah, 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 both which are representing themselves as city and county of Denver, which I'm able to, not the city like she claimed. See, notice how up here, I don't know why that's that way. You filed with the Colorado Secretary of State, the city and county of Denver, but down here, both which representing themselves as city and county of Denver, one which is labeled afterwards as LLC and one is network, which I'm allowed to do, folks. She's circumventing these things because she doesn't know the difference between a domain and a URL. She doesn't know the difference between a commercial, a .org, a .com, a .net, a .gov, which they aren't part of. And that's the sad part of this whole thing, is that they're not even part of the .gov family, which means sooner or later when they flip that switch, Denver's going to lose all of its funding that they get from the government. No matter how much Mayor Mike Johnston wears that sign around his neck going up to D.C. and begging for money and changing the laws to suit their illegal migrants that are here in the city and county of Denver. The only people that can continue to spin the crap like they've been spinning as far as the migrants which are illegal, but they renamed them migrants to fool everybody. They can't fool artificial intelligence. I mean, this is the people you're dealing with, folks. Anyways, intellectual property use of the name, the city and county of Denver. You see how she switches it? Without some designation or distinction, making it clear that you are not affiliated with the city as a governmental entity, which I have never claimed to be a governmental. I've always claimed to be non-government. For example, if you wanted to name your business Nelson Giovanni of the city and county of Denver, that would not be objectable, as it would designate you as the separate entity. Stealing or attempting to steal the corporate entity name and an identity of the city provided by the Colorado Constitution at Article XX not only injures the city, but potential injures our citizens who may be confused by your attempt to pass yourself off as an official city entity. Another lie. This lady's shameful, man. This is all of her cases, anything that this lady has done or these other identifier assistant attorneys, all their cases need to be reopened and retried. This is how severe this is. And it gets worse, folks. Anyways, so it says, in the same way, you are not legally entitled to take a city vehicle for personal use. You are not permitted to use the name of the city as an intellectual property for personal use. I'm not. I'm using it for business. In fact, the issue is related to my office from our Treasury division now. When she said this, I can now go in because the cloud content's there because she's a city attorney, so all their information, what they think is being thrown away, is actually stored in the cloud because they're prosecutors. Their content is saved so that people that know how to go and do subpoenas to extract content from the cloud, I'll be able to find out who this is. But when you're throwing around the Treasury, so slow down. In fact, the issue was relayed to my office from our Treasury division in relation to a concern that a confused taxpayer may have attempted to pay their tax payment to this false identity. If the city does not receive tax payment, it results in a lien, ultimately loss of taxpayers' property. You see what they're trying to do? She's already trying to line up a criminal thing against me. This lady's like 8th grade material right here, folks. All of her education, everything that she's ever done is going to the dark web. All the node connections in the city of Denver, if Kerry Tipper doesn't change it, Anyways, folks, so it goes down here. The city and county of Denver, when in fact you are mere individual, are detrimental to our city. You are a mere individual, are detrimental to our citizens. What does that mean? You are a mere individual, are detrimental to our citizens. See, what she's doing to me, pointing at me, she's got three other fingers pointing right back at her. If you have received any such payments, you must refund them immediately to the persons who were misled into misdirecting their tax payments to you. Folks, let me tell you something. I never opened up a bank account because I knew this was going to happen. I knew the kind of slime balls we're dealing with. And so every judge, every attorney, anybody that's ever worked with these identifiers, especially Kristen Bronson. So you wonder what happened because she was let go like around October 14th, she walked away. Right after this letter was, I answered this letter when they were all conspiring. And see, all their content is stored in the cloud. All their conversations, if they were having it in front of a computer or if their cell phones were sitting on their desk, these are the things that this government and many other governments across the United States have no clue. This is why TikTok is kicking ass, taking over everything because of the way they're adjusting their algorithms. They figure out Google's and YouTube, so all their content, they make page after page. And so when you open up Google and you click on the videos, all you're going to see, if things don't change, is TikTok videos. So why do people paying for premium? So I'm pretty sure YouTube and them have figured this stuff out. But to think that an entity could come in and disrupt your whole, take over your whole company, take over the search engine, take over everything that's going to change. And then you figure that they're saying that TikTok and Google are going to partner up. So where does that leave YouTube? You know? And if YouTube's not getting the numbers because TikTok's inflating the numbers and the vision and the amount of people that are really looking at their videos. See, nobody knows this because nobody's doing any algorithm tests. Nobody's holding these platforms to accountability because they don't know. In addition, you must immediately cease and desist from using the name the city and county of Denver. See that right there, folks? The city and county of Denver. Boom. I don't call myself that. As your professional or business name, even if the suffix ends in LLC, for any purpose, and withdraw the name from the Secretary of State for the URL. So if the Secretary of State, why didn't they call him Secretary of State? Why didn't they? It gets better, folks. The city and county of Denver does not authorize use of its name for any private use. It is used solely for the official purpose of the city and carries the imprimatur, I don't even know, of an official government act. As such, it carries with it a specific legal consequences. In particular, as previously alluded to, any act made to pretend the capacity of a public servant other than a police officer is a criminal code violation. I never pretend to be a public service, impersonating public servant. See how she's wrote? See, right when she wrote this in her lipstick red ways, just like a pig with red lips, man. We already went through the pig with lipstick, right? These are some vile people, man. I can smell them right now. Vile. And this is what everybody's not paying attention to, and this is how governments are able to do what they're doing. But now there's people, judges and other people are starting to scratch their head and they're going, wait a minute, this is of serious consequences. Yes, sir. But I'm trying to give these people an opportunity to clean up their own halls before I go out to New York and get me one of them big attorneys to come in and file a lawsuit against all these people. See, that's what I've been doing, and that's taken 13 years because I had to lay out my case digitally. I had to know where the cloud is. I had to know where all their content is. I had to know who all their people that follow them and give them money. I did all this. This was my job. No matter if the Denver Post, ABC, CBS, all them people that are conspiring to keep Denver under the Democratic control of the Democrat Party in the city and county of Denver, under the direction of Andrew Luxon, the judge, Supreme Court, or the Denver District Court judge when I filed an emergency hearing. It's all on the, look up Marcus Giovanni sues Paul Lopez, Denver District Court, case 23CV54. What I did was I used Andrew Luxon's meta tags as a district attorney, and I wrote my complaints, two of them. First one was denied, but I didn't know it because they never sent me any notice. I got another alert from artificial intelligence that told me I need to file a second motion, an emergency complaint, and I did. And it was heard on February 6th. And during that hearing, I asked Andrew Luxon, Judge Andrew Luxon, courtroom 414, Denver 2nd District, about the Spear Amendment. And Assistant City Attorney Michelle Horn, a different one, not the one writing this letter, who was coming after me, said, we haven't enforced that law in years. And if Luxon was the big district attorney, Mr. Fraud, all that whoop-de-woo, come to find out he's a graduate or he worked at the Stern Law of University of Denver. They're going to take the biggest hit. They don't even know it. I've been warning them, and they're all laughing. And, oh, look at this fucking idiot. People tell me. We got people everywhere, folks. When I tell you that, fact. Everywhere, and they're sick of it. Look at this. Here comes the next one. I am aware that you have registered as a candidate to run for mayor. However, merely candidacy does not make you a government employee, official, authorized actor. I've been doing this for four elections, trying to expose the filth of these people. And look what she puts in there. Oh, Michael Hancock's at the top of the letter, folks. Who do you think put these people together? Hey, Michael Hancock. Hey, let's get rid of Giovanni because he was too much of a coward to have to battle me in a debate. Because we did a secret meeting over there off of next to Snooze on 7th Street and Colorado Boulevard at that church, and people showed up and they were flabbergasted. They're like, "Wow, we never seen anybody stand up to Hancock like you. I'm voting for you." Yep, 2015, folks, that's when they didn't have a Denver mayoral debate. But they had that, and that was their way to square up to how I would do. And I tore them up. Even Hancock had to tell me 3 times, that's a good one, Giovanni. 3 times, Mayor. And this is the same people hiring the same people that are hiring the same people that when they get out of serving there, like, you got all these people making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and they're not even in office. They get a job in the department. Chris Nevitt, he gets $94,000 a year, and he gets $150,000 for his job that he's got. It's sickening. While the city and county of Denver has immediate legal recourse given the unauthorized use of its name, we are initially taking a more lenient approach and requesting you cease and desist from calling yourself, here it is, the city and county of Denver, on any platform or in any media whatsoever within the next 15 days. You may, of course, truthfully represent yourself as candidate for the city and county of Denver or for mayor of the city and county of Denver, which I did.com. But you may not misrepresent yourself as being a governmental entity, the city and county. Here it is, the city and county of Denver. Do you see how many times she's lied? Throw that in there. And what judge is going to look at that and go, lady, come on, man. What were you, in 8th grade when you wrote this? If you do not immediately cease and desist from misuse of the name, the city will be forced to pursue other options not limited to legal action. What are you going to do? See, folks, this is other options. They have tried to destroy every one of my businesses. They've tried to destroy me, her and Karen Hubler, and Elizabeth Lay, and Judge Hood, all of them. And the Judge Hood, all this stuff with the Supreme Court, that was what we needed to have them come out of the closet. Come out of the closet. This is what we needed, folks. If you do not immediately cease and desist, here it is, and the government entity that is the city and county of Denver, If you or your legal counsel have any questions, I'll be happy. See, they didn't think I have any legal counsel because I don't need legal counsel to beat these people. Even though they're going to spread their shit and get other judges, and they're all going to try to manipulate and lie and protect the University of Denver's stern law. When in fact, that cat's been out of the bag for over 10 years. And all these lawyers that are all graduates of it that I've been contacting year after year to represent me, and they all turn me down, all that content's in the cloud. And we're showing private investigators and other law enforcement people how to do the indexing that we do. And now they know that they can pull this content out from the cloud from every person in the United States. Doesn't matter who you are, judge, all their content stored in the cloud. And this is what artificial intelligence, the new judge, the almighty computer God. See, God gave us all free will to do whatever we want. And just like what she did, she's painted a picture here like I'm the ultimate criminal, man. Like, oh, I'm just breaking all these things and using the city and county of Denver. And she's even put them in quotes, folks. And then she talks out the side of her. This must be one miserable woman, man. All of them. Michelle Horn, Belka, name them. That list goes around the block. And see, they think that Kerry Tipper is going to save the day, and they're going to, what are they going to do? She's not even a citizen of Denver. A lot of the people that are department heads in Denver don't even live, they're not even citizens of Denver. I don't even think any of these people that are elected, because you don't know their addresses, or even live in Denver. And so, and this is the thing that our auditor should be auditing, but he's a lame duck auditor. We caught the city council using donation money with their credit cards 14 times. Where's Denver police? What? Because they're all in on it. Now, do you really think that? No. This is why we need to elect our sheriffs, get them certified so they can make arrests. We need to elect a chief of police. We need to elect our city council. We do elect our city. I meant our city attorney, like they do in other states. This way the power lies with the people. And what's going on now in regards to their manipulation of just their keywords. And so the sad thing about all of this is that it's been going on for years. And when I used Andrew Luxon, the judge's meta tags to write my complaints as if I was a law enforcement officer, which I'm not, or a private investigator, given my facts of my case. Go lay down! Sorry, that was my puppy, 60-pound, beautiful puppy. Anyways, trying to train him, and I gotta yell at him to go do things, and I don't want to yell at him. So, anyways, I do everything by the fly, folks. I'm as organic as you can get. I'm more organic than anything in Whole Foods, in the digital sense. And what's happening now is we're all being indexed by our voices, the new digital DNA. Voice latent prints, GPS, cell phone tower pings. And you know, when you think about it, like when 5 people get together and they say, hey, we got to turn off our phones. What happens is when they shut off their phones or they leave them in their car and it's silent, but it's on, it can hear things. It can actually have a cell phone in a car. A person walking by with his cell phone can connect to that cell phone to listen for your voice. Look for it. What happened to it? It doesn't look for it to try to spy on you. It looks for you, it looks for your voice to find out if you're okay. Artificial intelligence isn't as evil as everyone thinks it is, but what it is it's evil people trying to manipulate artificial intelligence, and it's too late. And in fact, all of our voices pattern matched in what, like our mayor, when he comes out and tells people, oh, we're a vibrant Denver, or he had, oh, we're going to do practical, pragmatic ways. My committees since 2011 were people for a more pragmatic government. So you figure he's an attorney plagiarizing, even let's say he wasn't plagiarizing, that's my opinion. Let's just say, oh, he has every right to say that. Yeah, okay, he does. But when you're out doing campaigns now, you got to make sure you're not going to say something that somebody else has been saying for 4 elections. 4. So do at Vibrant Denver or hashtag Vibrant Denver. Everything that they say, what happens is they can't do it. Just like his whole MO right now, folks, our mayor is trying to become governor. And then they're going to try to figure out what mayor they can put in to take his place when they, just like what happened with Vidal, another worthless mayor. And so we've had a lot of worthless people continue the decay and not the city beautiful that Mayor Webb, Mayor Webb. Let's talk about Mayor Webb. The problem with Mayor Webb is that now he is completely invalidated himself by the wrong choices. See, they were pushing that first woman narrative, and what happened is women in Denver are not stupid, man. I collected my signatures standing in 9 below weather, folks, cracking my skin, causing me to look older than what I was when I started 10 years ago. And my face and my skin was everything to me. But since I had to raise my kids, mom bailed in 2011. They've taken every kind of money that I've ever made. They keep sucking it and no one does anything. Tom Downey and his, hers thing on his, all these people using pronouns on the side of their names. Folks, man, you got to learn that AI, what they think it means, puts them in the dark matter. No matter what they say, their law firms, their law degrees, their academia accolades, and their humble bragging, ain't gonna save them from artificial intelligence. You heard me? So for me, this is my gift to the citizens 20 years from now. Those people who are 40 years old right now, think about the people that were 40 years old 20 years ago, which would include me. I came here 17 years ago. And I in the government, I've only met a few people, and I got videos of them, that I felt if they would just could be shown a little sunshine, they could have taken Denver to a level where we need to be. But see, it wasn't meant to happen. It wasn't in the fate. It wasn't in the twist of fate. See, I create fate, folks. And I show everybody and I give everybody an opportunity. But it seems like with these people, I gotta be held responsible for anything anybody ever fucking says about me. And see, I already know what my life's about. That's why I'm here. I don't give a. I'm 63 years old now. I write my music. I don't promote it. Nobody knows about it. Oh, but there's people that'll go see it because I know, because I can do some. And then we know. And this is what we're trying to teach law enforcement and our court system to clean up. And so the scathingness that's going to come from the Supreme Court and slap the hands out from the Supreme Court of Colorado, according to AI, this stuff can change. AI can only do what people are talking about. That's where we're at. Not search as much as talk. Because then that's how when we talk, we get products and services showing up on our phones, in our emails. Like, how did these people get my email? That's because they're going to people's websites and they just take it out and then they send you a spam as if hey, thank you for signing up. Like, I never signed up for this. And people, here's the other thing. Go to Social Credit System Scores and Rankings.com. This is real, folks. It's coming. And the thing about Google and all these other people, we have to protect ourselves. We have to come up with our own terms and conditions. There's nothing stopping us. But when you have lawyers that go and get 18-year-old people from MIT that might know everything about coding, but they have no life experiences. And it's these life experiences that we use to pattern match meta tags with things you've done to create a nice meta description. And so what happens is you have people who go and hire other people to do work that they should have done themselves on an organic level. It takes 2 to 5 years to build enough organic content to make it worthwhile to do any kind of advertising. I've been doing it for 17 years. We got GP7A. That was the first one. And if you think about all the words that start with G and all the words that start with P and all the words that start with A, and you only need one number to throw the 3 6. I call it, it's a 369 mathematical equation, but we call it the 1369 because you can't, in our world, you can't just jump to 3. You have to start at 1. So we call it the 1369 algorithm. And then you take 1369 and we use that to talk to let me rephrase that. We call 1369 the computers that Facebook was using that created its own language. See, they think that it's just unplugged the computers and it went away. That stuff's still in there. It's still out there. And so now artificial intelligence with virtual machines has already, I believe, tapped into that language code. And so now I think what we're going to see in the future in regards to people that are doing the wrong thing, that try to attack other people and use all this, I think AI might just have it go back to the people that are launching, And that might be, that's a scary thought. Very scary. Here we are, 2024, and we should all be celebrating and having a good time and going and seeing Tokyo and China and the Great Wall and Russia and some of their buildings they have with the painting and the architects and just start shipping people around. Hey, you can't afford to go to China, or you want to go here, and we don't think that way. We're all about destructing and killing and telling everybody we're going to save ourselves from ourselves. And yet we could all be, if China and Russia and England and the United States pulled together and just created a new system, man. Erase all the debt from everybody, all the countries. They're powerful enough to say, all right, all debts are eliminated. If they're going to undo student loans, they need to start doing it with themselves, start over. And then start working with all the travel agencies and get people traveling and buying things to where, I'm going to go to Russia, and then we're going to go to China, and we're going to go fishing and hunting. And I mean, there's so much to share the world, but we want to go, hey, look at all these military people. Wow, let's kill. Wow, kill. I mean, I've been watching it for 63 years of my life, folks. And first few years don't count, but now I can reflect back in the time of where I was. Like, wow. I remember my dad used to tell me, there's no guarantee you're going to get older. You're 50, 40, 60. That's why you got to cherish every moment you have now. You got to fight for everything. My dad was a badass white man. I was one of the 3 little Indians. White people can't adopt Indians no more. But I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my dad. He was a badass man. Big boy. Irishman. And I love Irishmen. They're badass men. I only say that because I grew up with them. If I would have grown up with my people, I'd be living shaman. I'd be living with the Indians. I wouldn't even know, but I wasn't. That's not what my purpose. It's not what I was born to do. And when people look at my life and the connections I have, it scares the out of me. And so layman people and other people, simpletons that don't understand the ways and the means of how life works and the constant flow of how conversations are now indexed on the World Wide Web and the metaverses that we all control ourselves and the avatars. and right now, if you look up a band by the name Black Sabbath, they have an album called Dehumanizer, 1992. And that album Computer God, that song, the lyrics changed my whole life. That was my calling, and that's why I'm here. Because I created platforms that she's talking about right now that's going to save Denver, that they're trying to destroy, which furthers my argument that these people need to go. And it furthers my argument that somebody needs to stand up to their tyranny, their um, disenfranchised. You got the same amount of people voting every election. I indexed it, folks. All the media, all the 5013 map light, all these different organizations. I can guarantee you that now there's new people looking at these people and their 5013Cs, and they're coming, man. You hear that knock on your door, you're gonna know. You're gonna know that you had a chance to turn things around, but you did it. And this Lori lady here, she's very vile, in my opinion. To go so far to write something like this, thinking that nobody would ever see this. Thinking that, oh, he's poor, he's not going to be able to get an attorney. We've already wrapped up every attorney in this city that will not represent him, and I've already proven that. And those attorneys, to me, are worthless, and guess what? They are indexed. And so while they go and they get their work and stuff, they're going to be advertising on Craigslist, and they're going to get just the most vile type of clients that just are just wow. And they're going to go, what happened? Why are we getting all these these kind of people? What do you mean these kind of people? Folks, I've seen it. I've seen it, and I'm telling you, and you're either going to believe it or you're going to go to the dark web. And I'm just going to make sure that this person never does or ruins kids, ruins anything that has to do with anything. And I noticed that with all these people, when I stand up or try to tell somebody, they point their finger, oh, it's him. How did he know? What's he doing? That goes around the block 5 times about all the things I've been accused of. It's whoa, but I understand it. My life is short. This is just, when you think about someone living 60 years compared to how old the world is, and when you think that there's no God, and look at Zuckerberg. That guy's a blue belt, getting ready to take over the whole MMA conversation. I put a stop to that real quick. Even though it was subtle, it moved mountains, man. And, blue belt, to me, when I think I'm a black belt, Taekwondo, Hapkido, Tang Sudo. I've gotten some car accidents I can't do, and I've got other training. And that's what, if you've seen what I look like in the 80s, I always thought I was a heavy metal dude. No one ever told me I was a dude that looked like a lady. Look at my picture, Marcus Giovanni, you'll see me. And when I was in a bar and heavy metal, I don't care what bar it was, the later it got, I needed to get out of there because I was going to do some fighting. But I'm not going to stop going out or stop being who I am because you guys can't look at me and just take me for who I am. I didn't pick this body. I didn't pick my nose. I didn't pick my eyes, my mouth. I didn't pick nothing. I didn't even get to pick my parents. My parents picked me. So some people say, oh, that's good. Well, it's good if it's only you and maybe a couple other people in the same colors. Tell me times I've been with my mom and they'd say, boy, he doesn't look like your son. Are you that fucking ignorant to have to talk out my whole life? I would avoid to hurt my mom's feelings because she started realizing how many bigots there really are. How many racists there really were in Phoenix, Arizona. And the only reason why is because they didn't understand. White people came over here, and I don't know how to explain it. My dad worked his ass off. His equity is to work his ass off. He had 2 jobs, professor and an engineer. He had 9-foot pool table he paid $4,500 for back in 1974. Made a 40 by 20-foot swimming pool so my brother could be an Olympic swimmer. Go against Mark Spitz, 73 Olympic butterfly challenge. So I could go on and on with my stories. But my stories is just to talk to AI so that AI knows where to go. So it knows what to, and it already knows. And it just follows the voices. And then it gives us everything that we need. What we talk about is what we get. Like for me, it doesn't count because I'm an observer indexer. I observe and I index. I talk stuff that the most vile stuff sometimes. I've lost a few channels on because of talking that way. But I let it out from the people's voices that told me the vile things. Because when you work on better structured content, when you work on the betterment of our internet information technology and the people behind it, you got to do the right thing. And our voices and all the videos and everything we do and everything we say, people don't realize it's going to get. When I talk about social gulag, socialgulag.com, when I talk about that, it's a movie we're working on. And Simon Bar Sinister, Dr. Sinister. He's ruthless. You take Simon Bar Sinister, he is a Red Skull meets American Gangster. Ruthless, man. Like that. Oh, calm down, puppy. He's dreaming. Hey.